Hi, welcome to Black Jet News. Okay, this is part two, and in part two, I will pick up. It's with the festival. Once a year, they held a fest. They danced on grass beside springs of water to the sound of drums and music, of course. When they had well drunken, every man would seize his neighbor's wife. Wow, I didn't think about that. Wife? Sodom and Gomorrah? Did you know that? I didn't. And or his virgin daughters, and enjoyed them or her. None did any man care what his own wife or daughter was sporting. They didn't care who their wife or their daughter was having sex with, not at all. Okay. And in this book here, in Hebrew myth, uh, it says this went on for 4 days. 4 days. And all it's talking about is like couples. You know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. I know you do, so don't play that game with me. It says something about beds being placed like in the street of Sodom, and a man that was placed on it, he was laid on the bed, and if he was too short, they had three men on his head and three at his feet and on his arms, and he was pulled until he fit the bed. That means literally he was pulled apart. And if the man was too long, his head was like pushed back, and his legs were tilted upwards until the poor wretch cried in death agony. The Sodom, Sodomites said, peace was our ancient customs. And in the city of Admah, Admah, near Sodom, lived a rich daughter. One day she gave some wafer to a poor man who had sat down at her doorstep. She fed him bread and water, and the city judges had heard that she did this. They took her out, stripped her naked, and smeared her with honey, and laid her beside a bee's nest. Whoa, why do women always catch hell in these Christian books? I just don't get it. I just don't get it in these Christian stories, about how the women are treated and stuff. Anyway, and so did Lot's daughter. She did something like, and she was put to the stake. So you know what they do when you put to the stake, and she was dragged to the stake for her disobedient ways. But here's what's important. It says the city judge learned of this criminal act. They had her stripped naked, smeared with honey, and laid beside a wild bee's nest. The bees then came and stung her to death. Okay? It was her cry that prompted God's Gods, possibly S, destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Now wait a minute. That's not what I heard. Is that what you heard? Is that the way you heard the story? That is not the way I heard the story. Not at all. I didn't even know there was couples in this Sodom and Gomorrah thing. Did you know there was couples in Sodom and Gomorrah? Look, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is Lilith, who was left out of, excommunicated from the Bible. Lilith. Then we're going to talk about the big lie about Ham. Now that's a really big lie. I mean, how can you turn people who already are black? I mean, black is what it is, So we're going to get to that. But can you believe this? This book you could get at Amazon because they still have it. I checked, and I hope so many of you will buy this that it would just become the bestseller. And you need to read the family, because in the family, look on the internet and see what he's saying about how when a guy asks this question, he was saying, no, not it doesn't pertain to us because God picked us to rule over the so-called peasant, the poor people. You people keep falling for stuff. It's time that you've been educated, yeah, but you've been taught what to believe. Step out of the rim and go teach yourself something. Okay, there are books out there. There's other ways of thinking, and trust me, you can do it. Okay, you can do it. You can think for yourself, that's sure. But when you taught something, you taught someone else's beliefs. Okay? So if you just go out there and try, just go out there and try. And I'm not saying you have to even believe me. I just want to give you other alternatives to hearing all the same thing you're always hearing. And when I get on Ham, it's going to be really good. But I hope you picked up some Sodom and Gomorrah. And I will be talking about this book pretty soon. Yeah, okay. And then there's this book here, right here. Okay. And one of my favorite things in this book is this here. Can you read that? I'll try and get it close enough for you to read. And I know you can bring it up to a large frame and read it. Okay? And Godfrey Higgins, I have him. I paid $80 for a manuscript. I was so desperate to get this. Godfrey Higgins, he studies, it's called Anacalypticism. And it's based on the religion, studies of people's beliefs and everything, Anacalypticism. And it's really good, and I hope you enjoy it. Now I'd like to do my favorite goodbye. Say goodbye, Egypt. That's me. And then I'm going to say, bye!